Before Andytology 2019 starts, I quickly want to mention that this YouTube channel will officially have its first ever public event this Thursday, March 21st, at the American Whiskey Bar in Midtown Manhattan at 247 West 30th Street from noon to 2:30. I officially made the announcement earlier on my Twitter feed, but if you have not seen it, I will quickly mention that this is the place in Manhattan I decided to do this at because I went last year. It was a fun experience. Matt Camper even came. Matt's not going to be able to join me this time because he has work and it sucks, but thankfully yours truly got the day off. And thank goodness I come prepared and, of course, planned it all out for everyone. So pretty much, catches, you got to pay for yourself. I'm not paying for anyone. I already budgeted myself to figure out what I'm going to get. But if you work in the area, you have a little lunch hour, maybe you want to catch the opening tip-off at noon, or you want to play hooky, this is the place to go. Because I'll quickly mention that when the games are in commercial, there's actually music. So there will be some entertainment during the commercials if you feel bored and don't want to watch, the commercials. Because only reason why yours truly watches commercials is because, I'll just say, sometimes during March Madness, you'll get a good surprise. Because I know last year, I found out from one of my movie buff friends that they were actually going to show a TV spot for Deadpool 2, which ended up being the case right there. So, who knows? Maybe we'll get a TV spot for Endgames for the movie buffs out there. But for me, I'm just excited that the excitement of March is starting. The big dance is on Thursday. And why not a better place to do it at American Whiskey? So again, the public event by yours truly will start at noon. It's until 2:30. If somebody else wants to take over on behalf of me, that's fine. Until late at night. Because you never know with March Madness. You could have people going mad over, oh, my bracket got upset, or, oh, there could be something going on. I hope not, because believe me, this is a good place. They have a good reputation. So, once again, address is 247 West 30th. Hope you'll consider joining me at American Whiskey this Thursday, March 21st. Without further ado, let's get started on Andytology 2019. Welcome to Andytology 2019. Sponsored by Yahoo Sports Tourney Pick'em. Enter for your chance to win $25,000 in a perfect bracket. Play today only on Yahoo Sports. Also presented by Subway, Eat Fresh, and by the American Whiskey Bar, located at 247 West 30th Street. Come this Thursday, March 21st, for a special appearance by Andy's Randomness. Now, here's your host, Andy Pollock. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the third annual Andy's Randomness Andytology or Bracketology, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, this is Andytology, the third here in a row. Once again, special thanks to our sponsors, Yahoo Sports, Subway, and of course the American Whiskey Bar at 247 West 30th Street in Midtown Manhattan. So with that being all said, let's not get to any more delays. Let's get started with this year's Andytology. So first up, we will start off in the Eastern region, where right now I am going with Duke to win the East. So here's how the path for Duke will end up. They will end up beating Mississippi State. They will end up beating UCF. Well, let's do it in organization. 16 seed first, UCF, Mississippi State, and then they will beat Maryland, which I hate to do it, but I'm only doing it for Zion. So Duke will win the East. Now, what about the other teams? Mississippi State playing Virginia Tech. in the round of 32. They will beat Liberty. Virginia Tech beating St. Louis. Maryland will beat Belmont or Temple, the 11th seed. LSU will actually lose to Yale, but in the end, Maryland will beat them. Louisville will end up beating Minnesota. Michigan State will end up beating Bradley. Louisville will play Michigan State. Maryland will play Yale. Maryland moves on to the Sweet 16. They will end up playing Michigan State in a classic, but Michigan State will lose to Maryland. Maryland will find a way to do it. They will upset the 2 seed. Listen, 6 seeds have upset us before. It's happened before. Never count a 6 seed out. Thus, Duke wins the East. Now, in this part of the bracket for the West, I have Michigan. Let me make sure. Yeah, it's Michigan. So how is Michigan's path going to look? Well, as the 2 seed, here's how it will end up. Gonzaga will end up beating Fairleigh Dickinson or Providence. I think that's what PV stands for. I'm not too sure. Somebody can clarify me that. I would appreciate that because this is my PDF file. Syracuse, the 8th seed, will beat 9th-ranked Baylor. And then Gonzaga will end up losing to Syracuse. Syracuse moves on to the Sweet 16. Marquette will beat up Murray State. Yes, they will beat them up because Murray State, why are they even in the tournament? I don't know. Florida State will end up beating Vermont because I still have bitter rage about Stony Brook losing to Binghamton. Don't ask why. So anyhow, Marquette will beat Florida State. Syracuse will end up beating Marquette. I know, it sounds crazy, but Boeheim knows what he's doing. Never count him out. Alright, so Buffalo will defeat Arizona State or St. John's. They will, in fact, move on to the round of 32. And believe it or not, I have them going all the way to the... Let me think if I got this correct. Yeah, Sweet 16, losing to Michigan, the 2 seed. Texas Tech will move on. They'll lose to Buffalo. Nevada will beat Florida. Michigan moves on. Thus, Michigan beats Syracuse. And your 2 seed in the West, Michigan, will play the 1 seed Duke in the East. Now, as far as the... Almost spoiled it. Thank goodness I went fast. South region, I have Virginia making it all the way to the round of 8. But Tennessee, they can go on a run. This is how I think it can end up. Mississippi loses to Oklahoma in the 8-9 matchup. The 9th seed Oklahoma will play Virginia. Just because I think the Sooners, they have something to prove. For a Big 12 team, they could do something here. Wisconsin playing Oregon. Here's one of my upsets. I think Oregon will move on to the round of 32, but they will lose the 4th seed Kansas State. Why are people assuming UC Irvine are going to upset Kansas State? I would not take UC Irvine. They belong in the tournament. They had a good resume in the Pac-12, but they're not moving on. People, jeez. All right, so we have Virginia playing Oklahoma. Virginia will win. Oregon will lose to Kansas State. Virginia and Kansas State in the round of 16. So where does that leave the other part of the bracket? Obviously, I'm going with Villanova to win out to the Sweet 16. Villanova is the defending champions, so you have to make them go to the Sweet 16 at least, right? Purdue moves on. They beat Old Dominion. Cincinnati beats Iowa. And I'm going to go with Tennessee here. Going on. But here's how Tennessee will do it. They will beat Colgate. They will beat Cincinnati. And then they will beat Villanova. And then they will upset the 1 seed Virginia to move on to the Final Four. Now, let's move on to the Midwestern region, where I have North Carolina moving on to the Final Four. North Carolina will defeat Utah State. Then they will defeat Kansas. And then North Carolina will actually upset Wofford. I have Wofford going to the Elite 8. Now hear me out on this. Now, get that to this part of the bracket. North Carolina beats Iona, beats Utah State, beats Kansas. So we move on from there. Iowa State will play Houston. They will beat Ohio State. Houston will beat Georgia State. And then Iowa State will get upset by Wofford. Wofford, the 7 seed, will beat Seton Hall. The 2 seed Kentucky will lose to Wofford. Iowa State loses to Wofford. But Wofford's magical ride will end in the Elite 8 as North Carolina, being the dominant team, move on. So your Final 4 in Minneapolis will be Duke playing Michigan, followed by Tennessee playing North Carolina, where I have Duke playing North Carolina, and Duke wins the whole thing. So Duke will win the 2019 NCAA March Madness divisional tournament, and as a Knick fan, I hope it happens because it will give Zion Williamson proof that he belongs in the NBA. He's only an 18-year-old kid, but this 18-year-old has made an impression on me. He's made an impression on a lot of people this season, and I think he could definitely be playing in the NBA and hopefully on the New York Knicks. And let's keep hoping the Knicks tank, because almost ready! The reason why the New York Knicks need to tank is because they can win the draft lottery. And if they can win the draft lottery, this 18-year-old phenom from Duke University named Zion Williamson can go into the league as a national champion. That would be huge for him. That would be epic. We could have Williamson dunks every night at Madison Square Garden. That's what I'm hoping for. So once again, Duke wins. Put a tiebreaker score of 72-70. So that being all said, once again, thanks to the sponsoring partners, Yahoo Sports, Subway, and of course American Whiskey, located at 247 West 30th Street in Midtown Manhattan. I'm not going to promote the event again, I'm just promoting the sponsors. So, thank you all for watching. I hope to see a majority of you on Thursday if you are going to be coming out to Manhattan at 12 noon on the 21st. Thank you all for watching. Until the next one, please take care.